Hello everyone, it's Adrian here, and this video is going to be a little different because I was kicking around the idea of just telling some horrible date stories, and I was kicking that around because I feel it'd be fun, and it's kind of fun to look back on that, and so I kind of was kicking it around. I got some positive feedback on Twitter, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Why the hell not? Maybe I'll call it Dates from Hell because I got at least two or three where it's just like the people you meet, but. So let me tell the first date from hell, which may very well be the single-handedly worst date that I ever experienced in my damn life. Holy shit. So anyway, I meet this woman, right? And we kind of hit it off really well. She has, you know what I mean. She's good looking. She kind of had, if you look Velma from Scooby Doo, she kind of has like that type of face without the freckles, like the hairstyle, the glasses, good body, and she's kind of quirky, like a little quirky, like I am. She's kind of a little quirky and a little eccentric, and I was like, oh god, this sounds cool. So we exchanged phone numbers. We agree to meet, and we go on the first date. The first date goes really well. I mean, we meet halfway where we live, and it goes really, really well. I mean, like seriously, really, really well. Like, we have things in common. The conversation is not stunted, or we're not super awkward around each other. It just feels natural. We get along beautifully and great, and you know what I mean. We have a few things in common, and it's it clicked, like it clicked. And then it's a good date when afterward you trying to find a reason to talk to them. Like if it's a bad date, then I'll be like, man, I really don't feel like, I don't have the urge to talk to the person. I'll be like, if it's an okay date, like, I'm kind of, but when it's a good date, you kind of want to talk to them. She texted me first, actually. I had a good time, and yeah, sure enough, the first day really went well. No red flags. She appears normal, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is good. Then we start talking about doing a second date. So before that, she ends up calling me. And she calls me to tell me that she's kind of really bummed that she went on a date with someone else. You know what I mean? And that he rejected her. Like, he kind of rejected her. He didn't really respond. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm really not. And she was kind of bummed out about that. See, that should have been maybe an indicator that I should leave. But at the same token, the thing about it is, we only had one date at this point. Like, one date. And I'm just like, it's really only one date. Not just that, but I'm also kind of talking to a few other women and maybe possibly making plans with some of them. So like, I really, why am I going to be mad for that? It just doesn't make any sense. Because unfortunately, it seems like this day and age, people just can't date one person anymore. And it's really annoying to have to invest in one person only for them to like see you as an option. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of annoying this day and age where it's like, whatever happened to just dating one person, getting to know them for a bit, and seeing if you want to pursue something more with them? That's how it used to be done. It's not done like that anymore, which kind of sucks, but I digress. So, but on this phone call, she starts telling me these really personal crap. Like, her past, her origin story, and it's chock filled of fucking abuse, sexual abuse. She's Eastern European, and I think she's from Romania or something, and so her parents pretty much sold her to like an older guy for marriage when she was like just 16 years old in that country. And he forced her to perform a lot of unsavory things. So at that age, and so, and she's telling me all this personal stuff, like, and I feel bad for her because as a coming from a child of physical abuse, I could kind of relate to some of it and, have that empathy. But at the same token, it's just like, we only met twice, initially, and then we went on a date. It's just like that's not something you tell someone that you only met twice. Especially not something you tell someone after one date. You don't do that. It just that's that's not normal. You pretty much wait to know. You pretty much tell someone you tell someone those type of things when you've known them for years, or when you have a certain level of trust, but you've known them longer than like, you know what I mean? That's when you tell people. You don't tell someone that you just met like that after one day. One day you just don't do that. So I was like, okay. But we make plans for another date. You know, I'm gonna meet her at her place, and we're gonna play some retro video games on my laptop. Maybe get something to eat, and it sounds like, oh, this sounds like a good time. So, anywho, yeah, I'm farting. But anywho, so the second date comes, and apparently she has a court date, which she didn't tell me about. But the court date involves the husband, because apparently they're still married. She moved away and kind of separated from him, and she's pretty much he doesn't know where she lived, and she wants to keep it that way. She wants to keep it private and stay away from him, so the guy doesn't go and try to find her, because he's kind of an older guy, really, dragging his balls through like the separation and like trying to divorce process. You know what I mean. But she pretty much texts me like, "Oh, I'll let you know when I'm out of court." You know what I mean. And at the same token, I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? That's really rude, Like, if you don't know when you're gonna get out, don't make plans for that day. Because now it's so rude because I'm sitting around. Pretty much, I can't do anything. I'm sitting around twiddling my thumbs like an idiot the entire day, waiting for this person to text me. It's like, it's rude. I can't go out. I can't do this because you might text me, and I might not be in a position to actually go there and do stuff. You know what I mean? It's incredibly rude to do that to someone. And so I don't hear from her till about 4 p.m. And I should have just like said, no, you know what, this is a little late. But at that point, I had been waiting for like the entire day for her to send a text, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it. At this point, I'm too stubborn. I waited all day. I'm gonna go see this person. So I take the train to her place, the subway, L, whatever. When I get to her place, she's crying in a fetal position, literally like this, like in a fetal position, crying her eyes out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did you agree to go on this date if you're gonna be in that situation where you're gonna, she's crying her eyes out, bawling, and this is only the beginning of the second date. That's not the impression you want to do on a second date. Like, and I barely know this person. Like, I don't know how. Like, I'm really awkward trying to comfort her. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I barely know you. This is supposed to be the second date, and why didn't you just, you know what I mean? So it's already starting off bad, and she's bawling. And some of the things she's saying, she's like, "I'm gonna be alone forever," and no, you know what I mean. I'm too damaged to be in a relationship, and yeah, you know what I mean. I'm gonna be alone, and oh, all this stuff, like crying hysterically. And I should have laughed, but part of me, but I have like baseline humanity, so I kind of feel empathetic. I want to comfort her, and this is when she reveals that she has bipolar disorder. Which I was like, okay, and that's probably why I didn't leave, because it's like, okay, I have bipolar disorder too. I kind of know what it's like to be in a really terrible mood, and not just that, but you kind of had a traumatic thing, seeing that the husband who abused you, who you were sold to, and I was like, okay, but she's crying hysterically, and the things that she's saying, like, I'm gonna, that's like warning signs, like I'm gonna be alone forever, and I can't be in a relationship until, that stuff that is like on a second date. You don't do that. But naturally, being my witty, charmingly funny self, apparently, you know, I get her to go, like, I cheer her up, but I cheer her up too well. And when I say that, I mean I shoot her into mania. And so she starts perking up and, like, getting happier. And then, but then she starts saying some other crazy stuff. Like, I had a dream that me and you had sex in, like, the living room. Stuff like that. And, like, I have premonitions and dreams. Like, she starts saying this crazy stuff. Like, I have regularly premonitions and dreams. I'm just like, oh, God. And then we go to walk her dog. And this is where she starting to say a lot more crazy. She tells me, like, oh, you know what? I mean, like, I want to be daddy's little girl. I want to be like daddy's little girl. I want him to treat me like a daughter, like buy me things, and like, and be spoiled. I want my next boyfriend I want my boyfriend to worship me, like a goddess, and worship me and treat me like a little girl. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And it's creepy as shit. That's creepy as shit right there. I'm like, fuck. Like, that's creepy as shit. Like, I want to be dead. Like, and we're walking a dog, and she's saying this, like it's normal. Like, no, it's not normal. You know what I mean? I barely know you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to be, daddy. I want someone to be my daddy and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa. But then she sees, like, a lady walking by, and then she says, like, It's like, oh, she's a Jewish whore, like loudly, and I'm pretty sure that lady heard. And I'm just like, what the fuck? She's like, I am not anti-Jewish or anything, but she's a Jewish whore. I'm pretty sure she's a Jewish whore. Look at that Jewish, like really loud Jewish whore, like anti-Semitic shit. And at that point, I really wish I would have left. I really wish. But guess what? You remember how I said we had to play retro video games? Guess who's the idiot who left his book bag with the laptop at her place when we were to walk her dog? This guy. Yeah, I left my laptop there. I can't leave without the laptop because I need the laptop and it costs money. So I had to go back to her place. Meanwhile, this person is, just all over the place at this point. Who was maybe an anti-Semitic, and so I was like, I pretty much go to her place. I give my stuff, give my laptop, and I was like, she's like, let's play some video games. Like, screw it, whatever. And like I said, at this point, I gotta be responsible for myself. Like, for not leaving and getting out of there, I gotta be responsible. I gotta take some responsibility for that. I should have left, but I didn't because I'm stupid. So we start playing the retro video games, and she starts getting a little more sexual. Like, oh, do you know what a butt plug is? Like, I have one. Like, you should look it up. In fact, we should go buy one together. Like, get like this sexual stuff. I'm like, this is only the second date. Like, what the hell? What are you doing? And then she goes and makes some food. You know what I mean? She goes and makes some food, and this is where it got up. So the food is soup. So we make soup, and I'm pretty sure this thing might be desynced now. But she makes soup, and like I'm eating some of it, and then midway through she's like, "Oh, I roofied you," just like this. She's like, "I roofied you," like a straight face. And then I'm like, "What the fuck? What, did you serious? Did you just seriously just say that?" And like she's like, "Yeah, I roofied you," and then she starts describing like all the things she's gonna do. It's like, yeah, when you're unconscious and I roofied you, when you're unconscious, I'm just gonna take you and use you for my own pleasure and do whatever. And then I'm gonna throw you in a closet and just feed you scraps and tie you up. And she starts laughing, like, and not just normal laughter, like ha 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 ha, like we're talking maniacal, evil fucking laughter when she's saying this stuff. Imagine how you would feel if you got invited to someone's place and they said they roofied you and they were gonna sexually assault you. And then they were gonna tie you up and leave you in a closet and feed you scraps. Imagine how you would feel. I was fucking panicked. And at that point, she was like, "Oh, I was just kidding. You're no use to me. You would be flaccid and like stuff like that." And I'm just like, at that point, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm going, because I was like, I don't know who the hell you are, but you do not do that. You do not make a joke about raping someone that you don't know very well. That on a second date, when you cook something for them. Imagine if I invited anybody here watching this video to my place and I said, yeah, I'm going to cook you guys steak. And then I said I roofied you and I was going to sexually assault you at my place. Understandably, you would be fucking freaking out. That was me. And at this point, I was like, I'm just getting out of here. I start packing my shit. Like, I'm going. But I need to pee. Like, I need to take a wicked piss at this point, too. I really wish I tried to take it outside instead of, but I go to her bathroom. She's like, "Oh, let me see your penis, please, please, let me see your penis." Like trying to grab me and like grab it. And I'm just like, and I'm going to the bathroom. I'm trying to push her out. She's trying to push the door open as I'm like, I gotta like I push her, manage to get her out of her own bathroom. When she's trying to jar the door, I pee, and then when I come out, she's dressed in like a nightgown, like that evening nightgown, low cut stuff. And she's trying to get more sexual. She's like, "Oh, look at my boobs. They're so perfect. Here, you should touch them." And like trying to get sexual and I guess trying to seduce me. But at that point, I'm just like, I am not interested. Like, no, 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 no. I am not interested at all. Like, I do not find that attractive. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. And as I'm leaving, she starts dancing like this, like uncontrollably. She's like, "You should dance with me. Please, please, you should come and dance with me. It's really good for you. Dance with me." And she's dancing like around her apartment like a crazy person. I mean, you know what I mean? She's dancing around like a crazy person. Like, I was like, yeah, and I just left. And and thank God I was not roofied. Thank God when I took the train back, I did not pass out. And so, thank God. And that was one of the worst dates that I've ever had. Oh my God, that was terrible. And part of me felt bad for just leaving like that. But at the same token, I'm just like, I had to tell myself, I'm not responsible for her. Like, this is only your second date. I'm not responsible for her emotional state. I'm not responsible for her well being. I am not responsible for her. She is responsible for herself. She's the one who didn't take her medications for 2 weeks. I need to do what's right for me. You know what I mean? So I pretty much have to tell myself that. So tell myself that because I shouldn't feel guilty for that. I shouldn't feel guilty for just dropping her, never seeing her or contacting her again, and ignoring her phone calls or messages. Because trust me, there were phone calls and messages. But like I shouldn't feel bad for that. And I shouldn't be guilty. But that was one of the worst dates. It's like holy shit. Like some of the people you meet, man. It's like I mean, so let's highlight this. So she reveals terrible, horrible things about her past too soon. That's one. Two, she tells me like, two, she's off her bipolar disorder meds. Three, on the second day she's crying hysterically when I first go to see her. And dude, three, she said I'm never gonna find anyone. I'm too damaged to be in a relationship. Four, she goes manic and says, I want someone to be daddy. I want to be daddy's little girl. I want someone to spoil me and worship me. Six, she's anti-Semitic. It's a Jewish whore. Three, she said she roofied me. Four, she tried to grab my penis without consent and tried to see my penis without consent. And that was the worst day. I think that probably is the worst date that I ever had. So there you go. There is one date from hell. I will have another one. Just seriously, leave your comments. I would love to read some of those that you say. Thanks for watching.